Into the course project itself, I found myself reflecting on different approaches. What I ultimately decided on using is the waterfall method. The waterfall method is a form of project management that is utilized by all project managers, not just IT project managers. This method means that taskers won't be able to continue unless the task above it has been completed in a waterfall format. When looking at tasks, they have start dates and end dates. They can follow as start, finish, or finish. This means that task starts at the same time, or the task starts once finishes, or both tasks will reflect a completion date regardless if one finishes first or not. If you look at the screen, you'll see an attached photo of what I use to depict how I would attack this project. So when we look at the sample project scope, during the initiate phase, I would gather the statement of work. This is where the customer provides the details of what they would like to have done. In our course, this was provided, although not thoroughly. Shown on the screen is the course project overview. This can be seen as a statement of work. The next step is I would create a rough order of magnitude, or ROM, to give the customer an estimated budget. Skipping on to other parts of the project, I will start the planning phase. This phase is started after we receive the okay that the customer has funding and a contract has been signed. So for the execute portion, this portion is where the team and the work is put into effect. So the role of the information system is to develop and provide an user-friendly application, creating a smart docking station for the bike that will notify users of the amount that is available at docking stations, a tracking system for each bike. The Information System Management Center is responsible for streamlining the renting process, keeping track of data files pertaining to transactions, the number of bikes being rented out at each location, supply and demand of the current market. The Information System Maintenance System is in charge of management of maintenance, track maintenance being completed, how long bikes are being serviced, and the service intervals. The rational thought process for this was that when developing an application like a bike sharing app, the information system must be an all-in-one server. This means that the service should not be able to only develop, but it should also be able to manage and perform maintenance. When we look at how the architecture of the application and the website is designed to work, as seen here, we can see that the website and application sends and receives information from a multitude of places. Registered users, new users will be able to send and receive information from the website and application. The information that they send and receive will pertain to the rental time, the sales, and the storing of information into our database for future reference. For the security aspect of the design, the thought process that came into play was realizing that we are dealing with not only a point-of-sale system, but we are also dealing with customers' information. This information is not only limited to their credit and debit card numbers, but also their names, birthday, and addresses. So the security team needs to protect and needs to be able to respond in time of crisis. The next two photos will display the risk and the procedures pertaining to the security team. The information system should have a focus on how to keep intruders out, how to encrypt the files within, and how to prevent ransomwares to encrypt the current files. The information system team should be comprised of a networker, a server, and a security team member. Each team member will be assigned specific tasks that they oversee and will conduct reports on the findings based on the recommended actions in the risk procedure control, monitor, and remove section. The team members in the information system department as a whole will be responsible for maintaining employee training records, which will be conducted quarterly, or when a new threat arises, and as an onboarding process to ensure that all employees understand the seriousness of data protection. The team should prioritize data loss prevention, DLP, which is a set of tools and processes used to ensure that sensitive data is not lost, misused, or accessed by unauthorized users. DLP software classifies regulated, confidential, and business-critical data and identifies violations of policies defined by organizations or within a predefined policy pack, typically driven by regularly compliances such as HIPAA, PCI DSS, or GDPR. The next phase will be programming. In the project for programming, the information system is getting the correct programming so that the application can calculate and populate the correct information that is requested. Looking at this flowchart, we can see the program starts with checking the subscription type, and from there it travels down other avenues depending on what is deemed true or what is deemed false. If it is deemed false by the program automatically stops. Whereas if it's deemed true, the next step is whether the user is a day subscriber or annual subscriber, to which the pricing options are able to reflect as such. To break down one of the formulas even further, we can see that the call ride cost calculation formula is used to calculate the times once the information is populated after the rider has successfully returned the bike. This formula was deemed as crucial because this information provides the real-time information that will be needed later down the road when the application is tied into docking stations and providing geographical inventory information. If we look at the next design, we can see how SQL plays a role. When it comes to setting up the information systems with the data sets, the application that is used will allow the bikers to be able to rent bikes on a platform such as a mobile device, iOS or Android. The data will be stored in SQL format. The hardware that will be associated with the program will be a GPS tracking program to allow for the tracking of the bikes and the stored location of the bikes, which will update the system so that the other subscribers will have real-time updates of where the bikes are placed. So in summary, this project required me to think outside the box in terms of how to incorporate geographical real-time information with docking stations, how to program and store data, how to use Python, and how to use other information system resources. When it comes to managing information systems, often it's not being the best at one particular role, but it's being able to realize that all the roles are equally important. This is the thought process that I used when it came to developing the information system for the course project.